Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy tollax here, back with another reaction video. Today, I just want to react to this video called 10 Wrestlers Who Became World Champions at the Wrong Time. Now, let me know how you feel about this in the comments. Do you think it was at the wrong time or the right time? Let me know your opinions down below. Also, I truly appreciate if y'all could like, comment, share, subscribe. Current goal right now is 600 subscribers. Yeah, as y'all know, every 100 subscribers, it would be a current goal. The long goal this year, the main goal this year for this channel is to be 1,000 subscribers and more. So without further ado, let's get into this video, man.
Becoming the WWE champion must be the best thing ever. Even if you don't have the greatest reign, who cares?
Alberto
Everybody
Del Rio
gets to have
gotta
the
be on this
opportunity.
list.
This doesn't mean you're always guaranteed a home run, though, and man,
Facts.
sometimes it all goes bad just due to the timing of the thing. That hurts your heart. So let us give some superstars their get-out-of-jail-free card or point and laugh at them. Because I am Simon Miller. This is 10 wrestlers who became champion at the wrong time. Number 10, Alberto Del Rio. Here is the deal. Vince McMahon wanted to push Alberto Del Rio hard so that the WWE got a better foothold in Mexico. The term of the next Rey Mysterio was thrown around a lot. This is just what they do. The trigger was pulled on this push in 2011 as Alberto won the Royal Rumble and the Money in the Bank briefcase. I've already mentioned the issue, the year 2011. Only one man needed a big hurrah in that year, and his name was CM Punk. We all remember how the fans got behind the pipe bomb promo when he left the company as the WWE champion. The whole thing was a huge success, but maybe not the one the promotion expected. Because as soon as we could, we had Del Rio cash in his briefcase after Kevin Nash of all people laid out CM.
I ain't gonna lie, that's surprising that Kevin Nash just came back and literally did that to CM Punk, bro. Considering at his current age too.
Yeah, but SummerSlam.
But some wrestlers still got
wrong
it.
place, wrong time. That is not what the audience wanted. You also had John Cena being the main man, so really Del Rio was in the third spot, at least from a perspective point of view. It meant you got one of these situations where WWE was doing the exact opposite to what the fans wanted, and the disconnect sucked. It's supposed to be so easy. Creative went off a cliff for the second half of the year too, as the company tried to deal with this fallout. Let's just say it again, it was way too late. Number 9, CM Punk. So let's talk about the man himself. If you disagree, I'm with you, because in 2008, CM Punk benefited greatly from finally becoming the World Heavyweight Champion, but it still wasn't the coronation we would have hoped for beforehand. Because even though he was a Money in the Bank king, Vince McMahon was not sold on the dude, and therefore ensured while Punk was the champ, other people were highlighted ahead of him. It's the dumbest thing to do. Still, CM Punk did cash in on Edge on the 30th of Raw June, and the positive was he made it to the promised land. Once you get that opportunity once, you usually do get a second shot at it. The finish to all this was ridiculous as well, because Punk was replaced in a scrambled match by Chris Jericho, meaning he lost his title without even being involved. It's never going to work, but hey, at least this opened the door for what was going to come later. Number 8, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was one of the standout performers of 2024. She embraced her heel turn and Dominic Mysterio relationship and hit a home run. Her title run was
good. And then she also Saria a month ago. But her title reign, it did last a while, to be honest with you. I would say that. At least that's what I think, you know.
Great. It's not the case in 2022. Liv had won the Money in the Bank briefcase hours before she cashed in on Ronda Rousey, and at first it was great. What a surprise. Morgan had done it and beaten Ronda in the process. That's big. Much like CM Punk, though, Liv was then treated as a champion in name only because she had to play second fiddle to both Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. It was so weird, you could just tell this wasn't a well-thought-out plan. Her match with Ronda at SummerSlam was also a masterclass in how to get overly convoluted, to the point the fans booed Morgan. It wasn't her fault either. She was put in an impossible situation. By October, WWE ended the experiment, and it's just a shame. And again, look at what she did recently. Surprise, surprise, Morgan just needed the support. What a concept. Number 7, Booker T. Poor old Booker T. He totally warranted a title run in WCW in the year 2000. If anything, this was long overdue. Booker had been the man for ages. The plans were finally put in place at the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view. But talk about a double-edged sword. That was the same night Hulk Hogan, Jeff Jarrett, and Vince Russo did their work shoot angle, which turned into a real shoot and eventually a lawsuit. Guess what people soon forgot? That's right, Booker T winning the gold. It also meant T faced Jeff for a sort of fake title, like Book was lucking his way into the thing, And the creative was just so awful. Even today, it doesn't make sense. We've had over 2 decades to try and dissect this. I suppose being the WCW World Champion in the summer of 2000 was always going to be tough regardless, but yeah, Booker T should have been treated way better than this. He was the guy. It's time to go all in on him. Not with all this confusing madness. Number 6, Scott Steiner. Let us jump forward to November 2000. This one may have been even worse. Now, first and foremost, fair play to Scott Steiner. He had reinvented himself as Big Papa Pump. The guy was terrifying.
Speaking of Scott Steiner, guys, I didn't even know this. I didn't know this till a couple months ago because someone told me this, bro. I'm like, I didn't know Scott Steiner. I didn't know Scott Steiner was related, or Braun Breaker was raised to freaking Scott Steiner, bro. I really didn't know that. That shocked me, bro, because I think the more I watched Braun Breaker, I started to see, oh yeah, his matches give also resemblance to Scott Steiner, so they're definitely related.
He seemed totally unhinged. He got so over come the Mayhem pay-per-view it made sense to make him the champion. But yeah, this was too little, too late. WCW was already in freefall by this point, and while we forget it, rumors of the company being sold were already out there. Numbers were heading in the wrong direction. Scott did do his best, but nobody could have helped, and it meant his title run didn't get the attention maybe it should have done. The heel work was really good. Again, just felt like he was speaking his truth. He probably was. Scott Steiner was the master of getting into trouble. You can see it for what it is if you retroactively watch this content, as now we have all the future news and context. If only WCW had realized this earlier, a promotion headed up by Steiner and Booker T could have been the first injection it needed. As we know, that never happened. Instead, we kind of just ignored it. Number 5, Bray Wyatt. This should have been the one. We all knew the one thing missing with Bray was management actually getting behind him properly. Then finally, we did it. 2 months before WrestleMania 33, Wyatt surprisingly was successful in the Elimination Chamber. And here we go, the WWE Champion. And then no. Clearly Vince McMahon just didn't have a long-term plan, because not only did Randy Orton defeat the Eater of Worlds at the Show of Shows, by May, Jinder Mahal was the champion, and all of this happened in about 3 months. The fact Bray only held the title for 49 days is also ridiculous.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this, man. I'm gonna get my opinion on this. This was definitely wrong. I can say this, confidently. You know why? Because not only was it, not enough time, but also during the whole year 2018, whenever he won a championship, I think it could have made this storyline between him and Randy Orton, I believe, a little better if he also was able to hold the title longer as well, and maybe hold it for at least 4 months, maybe. I don't know. That's just what I think, But then again, of course, it will become stale after a while because, it's what the fans, feel about the wrestler too whenever they become champion, obviously. But in my opinion, I feel like he should have held this title for a few extra months, maybe. That's what I think.
So really, this ended any hope for the character. He had just been beaten into the ground one too many times. It was so short-sighted, especially because this should have been someone who could have evolved forever. Just don't think people backstage got it, which is totally bonkers. You tell me a better persona than Bray Wyatt, there is few to choose from. Number 4, Chris Benoit. As always, I find it hard to talk about Chris Benoit in the modern day, but still. When WCW finally gave him the world title at Sold Out 2000, they'd already lost him. Benoit was gone. That was almost literally 2, because the powers that be only had Chris win the championship to convince him to stay in WCW. See? We are gonna push you now. Doesn't take a genius to figure out why he didn't believe it. It's like when you catch your partner cheating on you. I'll never do it again. Oh yeah, too late. Benoit would beat Sid Vicious in the main event and then went and handed the belt back to management before Nitro even aired. He was going to the WWF and nothing was going to change his mind. I really don't know what people were thinking here. If WCW had just pulled the trigger in 1999, they would have ordered all of this, but they waited so late. Not only did they lose Benoit, but 3 of his friends too. It's another reason why they went out of business. They were always so damn reactive. Number 3, Kofi Kingston. So I want...
Yeah, Kofi Mania, that didn't last long. And we all know why.
Never say this was the wrong time because I'm just so happy it happened. Kofi Kingston earned this, and to see the joy it sent out across the community was lovely. Exactly what wrestling is all about. The issue is how we got here, or at least from a Vince McMahon point of view. As we now know.
Yeah, that push of Kofi, that was out of nowhere, in my opinion, And trust me, I have a feeling like in 2019, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Was it good to see him win the title? Hell yeah. Shoot. I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but like seeing a black wrestler win a championship after a while, it's good, It's kinda good. Cause we all know in the whole wrestling company, most champions are white, Like I said, I'm not trying to make this a race thing, guys. Please. I'm just giving it how I see it and how it happens, Because this is a history thing too. There's more so like other race wrestlers more than like the black wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm not trying to make this race thing. I'm just saying how it works, and how it is.
No, Mustafa Ali was going to tangle with Daniel Bryan until he very sadly got hurt and Kofi was subbed in. Even at that point, though, Kofi Mania wasn't meant to be a thing, but because the fans wanted it so much, we made it to the top of the mountain. Kingston defeated Bryan at Mania 35, and again, so wonderful, the utter sense of happiness. In terms of why it makes this list, however, look at how it ended. Wow. 8 seconds to Brock Lesnar because WWE debuted on Fox was such a slap in the face. It's basically how Kofi's entire run went because this was like CM Punk earlier. Kingston had the belt but was never allowed to act like the champion. It's actually infuriating because he had all the tools and people loved him. That's it, it's all you need. I truly believe if Triple H had been in charge during this, we would have got a totally different outcome. So that is where the wrong time aspect comes into play. This could have been so much better than it was, but hey, I tell you, man, at least we got it in the first place. Number 2, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has my favorite story about what happens when you finally become WWE champion. He got locked out of his hotel room and then had to eat cold pizza due to the issue.
Oh, no.
Welcome back to reality. It was a huge surprise when he did become the undisputed champion at Vengeance 2001.
Wow.
As he was in a mini tournament with Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Steve Austin. You know the deal. He defeated Austin and Rocky to do the unthinkable. I think it was the right time to do it because the then WWF needed new stars, but everything afterwards proved why it may have been better to wait. Triple H returned a month later and got moved into the top spot to such a degree, we all knew Jericho's days were numbered. Just had to get to WrestleMania 18. You also had the issue that The Rock and Hulk Hogan got programmed together, so all of this was overshadowed. Then we made Chris play second fiddle to Stephanie McMahon. Maybe this wasn't bad timing as opposed to bad booking. Jericho wouldn't be given...
Hey, let me know who I think number 1 is going to be before I continue the video. Pause this video. Let me know who I think number 1 is going to be. I have no idea who number 1 is going to be. I don't even feel like guessing right now. It's not that I don't feel like it. I can't even think of a person, So many people to go with that were once world champions. That's what makes number 1, guessing number 1, kind of difficult, Because there were champions there were people that became champions at the right time, wrong time, obviously. But when it comes to like guessing the final one, like the top 1, that's where things get tricky.
Give the chance to rectify this for ages afterwards too. The WWE really did make it very hard for themselves. Number 1, Drew McIntyre. This was...
Oh, wow. Yeah, we can forget about Drew McIntyre, Tyler Reign as well. I ain't gonna lie. Him at number 1? Okay, I gotta see why though.
It's not Drew McIntyre's fault and why he doesn't need or want my sympathy. I still feel very sorry for him. You know the deal too. Drew got his...
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, bro. When he returned to WWE, after he wasn't in the company for what, 12 or 13 years, around those lines, he came back like, I think that's everybody. I think that's what most people said too. Even I said that. I was like, he came back way different, bro. Like a much more freaking masculine, appearance compared to how he was back then.
But his massive Royal Rumble win in 2020, and then soon afterwards, the world shut down. WWE decided they were going to plow on regardless, meaning at WrestleMania 36. We did do McIntyre.
I'm not gonna lie. watching WWE. Also, guys, please let me know down below your opinion about WWE during the pandemic, bro. In my opinion, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It was it it wasn't okay. Let me be honest here, guys. All right, having no fan interactions, it felt different, because you're so used to watching WB, watching the WB live shows with fans. But since there wasn't no fans and it was just wrestlers hearing their freaking voices and screaming all that stuff, it felt different. I'm not gonna lie, bro, because of this. And the pay-per-views, like the Money in Bank one, that was just funny to me. The way how they constructed it. But everything else, I think it was alright. It wasn't nothing too crazy to me. But if you liked it, then okay. If you didn't like it, alright. I'm just here to give my opinion about things, as well. But let's continue the video.
Versus Brock Lesnar, with the Scottish Warrior becoming the world champion in front of no one. That's the opposite of what wrestling is meant to be. Drew himself has said he never envisioned this being the way he finally won the big one, and the fact he did it in what was essentially a warehouse. Well, yeah, I just feel for the guy. As I speak to you now, he still needs his proper world title Raw because he got screwed at Mania 40, but hey, it will happen one day. And either way, McIntyre has cemented himself as a modern-day top stars. That's just awesome, even more so in WWE.
See, I was just saying that, bro. Wait, let me say what I was gonna say. Let me restate what I was gonna say, right? I'm not saying back then he wasn't looking masculine, but when he came back, he has like obviously a much more freaking brolic, what you call it, beast look. That's all I was trying to say.
We fired him back in 2014. In hindsight, what we know now, what a ridiculous thing to do. Know of any other superstars who were the champion at the wrong time? Well, make sure you let us know in the comments before you like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
So yeah, guys, it's been your boy tollax here, back with the reaction video, of course. Let me know your thoughts about the video and what I said down below in the comments. I'm out. Deuces.